All right. It's been a while since we've done a draft recap video, but let's get it on the road. Okay, let me clear all this stuff out. So I have we'll go back and forth with this. So first, just wanted to go over a quick thing. Dynasty Royale is starting soon. Sorry, I just almost fell back on my chair. And as you know, we this is a dynasty league, and draft lottery is a big thing for dynasty leagues to determine the draft order. And you want as much scouting as possible because, you know, this is your team for the time for the rest of the time being. And um, well, I mean, we got a full league, 12 man, uh roster set. Really, we usually do one center and I think three utilities, but we're gonna do two centers with three utilities and then four bench spots and then three ILs. No IL plus Jack. Sorry, man. And then one of each of these guys. And I honestly, if I'm like still good after making this video, I might do the draft lottery like right now, honestly. And then I'll probably post two different videos, two different times. I don't know, man. I don't really care. But yeah, those are the news about Dynasty Royale. Um, I guess really it goes off on with what happened with the league last year, with people being very inactive, and I had the year before I had to rotate people out and stuff, and I really for this year I think we've learned our lesson to where it won't be corrupt. It'll be a smooth league like how the baseball league's going right now. I mean, the baseball league's going pretty well. The football leagues are doing pretty well. You know, we just want a smooth league with a lot of active people, a very competitive league, and we'll go on from there. Um, I mean, as you can tell, there's a lot of the same people who have been in my leagues for a very long time. So, I mean, what can you say? I'm ready for this league to start. So let's get to the meat and potatoes for this league. Um, I'm gonna go over King's Dynasty first, actually, because this will be easier. So I'm gonna rotate between no, actually, since this is so like small for King's Dynasty, I just want to go over the rounds that people actually drafted in it instead of ranking the whole teams because I don't really see a point to that. I'm gonna move me. Okay, I'm gonna be down here, like right here. So we're gonna go to the draft recap and go around 10. All right. So obviously, Jacob, you had the first pick. I'm not ranking by draft picks first round. Actually, some of you may not have a first round pick. So I'm just gonna go over here and look. But since Jacob had the first pick here, I have to go over it, obviously. So Bijan Robinson is the clear 101 in a dynasty league. Um, Jack originally had the first pick. He traded. I don't know why Jack traded it, honestly. I feel like Jack should have kept it because his running backs were he has good running backs, but I just think that trading that for a tight end who may he traded that for Mark Andrews, and then he got Quentin Johnson out of it. So was that trade really worth it? I don't know. And then Jacob traded his my first round pick to Steven, which ended up being Isaiah Pacheco. And then Steven got should we hit for a second? Oh yeah. Daniel Jones. I thought Michael Thomas was part of the deal, but it was actually Isaiah Pacheco and Daniel Jones instead of that. So that's originally what Jacob and Stevens trade ended up being. But my trades, were very, very good, honestly. Um, my trade with Jack for the beginning of the year turned out to be, or last year turned out to be Zach Charbonnet in the third round. This is Jacob's pick, Jarrett McKinnon. I think this is Juan's pick. Juan's pick is Tua, and then I also got Dalton Kincaid, and I got Jordan Addison from Juan as well. Those trades, and then this is my pick, Chico Zion. Um, yeah, I think that's all the draft picks really that ended up being um together. But for Jacob's overall draft, we'll go by team, honestly, because that'd be way better. Bijan easily. I mean, for a grade like that, you can't go below a B because Bijan in himself is just too good. Samaji Perine, for this year, that is, I think, in my opinion, the clear RB1 for Denver. But that team is such a mess. I really don't know how well he's going to be for that team. It just really depends on the offensive line and just how well they're going to be playing. Especially with him splitting time with Javonte. Um, it's really going to depend on that. So, but I do think it's a good pick for this year. I just don't know if getting Samaji Perine over who else? Or who did you get him over? Oh, you didn't draft until where the fuck did you get him? Oh, okay. Yeah, second round. I mean, yeah, him over. I feel like you should have gone a rookie here, honestly, or a tight end. Sam Laporta is still a very good. I think he's gonna be a really good tight end for Detroit, especially with that pass-heavy offense. They had a really good offense, in my opinion. So, I mean, Perine's not a bad pick, but it really hurt when you drafted Jake Ferguson, KJ Osborne. Jalen Warren I think, is a sleeper pick, and Roshan Johnson is definitely a sleeper pick. But to me, I think it's just a clear B minus for that. So I feel like that's a easy grade for there. I think if it wasn't for Bijan, you would have gotten easily a lower grade. So, um, Brad, you were up next. So you were projected first overall until the draft lottery happened, and you went down to second. Obviously, there was another good running back available, Jahmyr Gibbs. I wouldn't have been shocked if you went somewhere else, but I think Jahmyr Gibbs is way better than Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jordan Addison, or I mean, Pacheco and Cook were available too. But I think Jahmyr Gibbs is the good pick. So here's where it hurts a little bit more compared to picking Bijan, is because Jahmyr Gibbs has another running back who is like really good. Bijan with Tyler Algier, who you also have, Brad, wouldn't compete with Bijan, honest. I think Bijan's way better than Algier, but Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery can be on the same level. Uh, I would say Jahmyr Gibbs is equally in that DeAndre Swift role, and David Montgomery's in that Jamal Williams role. So you better hope it's the opposite. I think your picks were fine. Paris Campbell probably would hurt you a lot. Shaw Penny, I mean, I don't know what Philadelphia's going to do. I don't know enough about Philadelphia's run offense. Terrace Marshall, I don't understand that. And oh, I need to do by team. Fuck it. Let's do by team. Tank Bigsby, I think, is a very good pick. That's where your draft grade would go up. Justin Ross, Terrace Marshall. Justin Ross just got carted off. I don't know what any news on that, but if he's okay and you're giving him all this hype for something, right now I don't see any hype, so I'm not gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. Paris Campbell, I don't see any hype around him either. I mean, come on now. He didn't do nothing in Indiana when he could have been easily the wide receiver too. Outperformed Paris Campbell. And New York, obviously, they have no one besides Darren Waller and Saquon. Their wide receivers are dog. The wide receivers in New York are dog shit. Paris Campbell is probably the best one, or maybe it's Sterling Shepard, but he never stays healthy. Maybe it's Wandale Robinson, but he's hurt right now. Maybe it's Isaiah Hodgins. I think he's hurt right now. Maybe it's the other guy, fucking some other no names, you know? Wait, I think there's people below me. Harris Campbell, I don't know if he'd be that guy, honestly. I don't think he's that guy. All right. But Tank Bigsby, you bounced back excellently. Rashad Penny was actually not a bad pick. But for me, I think I'd give you a C plus. All right. Stan obviously didn't trade any damn draft picks, so he would be easy. Jackson Smith and Jigba, I feel like I could project him in a top 3 pick, or I thought Brown would get him. Well, no, he didn't. So Jackson Smith and Jigba is obviously, I feel like it's either him or Jordan Addison. They're like this, and then it's Quinn Johnston, and then it's Zay Flowers, and then it's any of the other players, wide receivers. There we go. See ya. Okay. And then Sky Moore. See, with Kansas City, there's no defined wide receiver one unless you count Travis Kelce as a wide receiver. Sky Moore does have the potential to do that, but he did nothing last year. And I don't know how he's doing in training camp right now, but he is getting a lot of targets from Patrick Mahomes. So really, Sky Moore can be that guy, but there's a lot of other targets that Kansas City likes. Greg Dulcich is a very good pick to me as well because I liked him last year. I would have drafted him if he was available instead of Chico Zine. But then again, Denver is a mess, and he also got Marvin Mims, who's a very good wide receiver for Denver right now. I think he can outperform Cortland Sutton easily. But like I said, that team's a mess. Chase Brown, I have no idea who the hell that is. I think he's like running back 3, maybe. I don't know. Who is Joe Mixon's backup, actually? That is a great question. That is a great question. Hide floating controls. Let's go look up Cincinnati Bengals RB depth chart. Chase Brown. Is Chase Brown up there? Trayvon Williams. Oh, he is up there. Okay. But the thing is that Joe Mixon, sometimes he can't perform, but I think it's his contract year, and players always perform in the contract year. So Trayvon Williams. Okay, this guy went to A&M, I remember now. Chase Brown and then Chris Evans. Him drafting a running back 3 makes no sense to me. Why did I? Oh, that's right. All right. And then Kenny Pickett, who apparently is due for an upcoming year. Don't think that does much for you. Jackson Smith and Jibba is really the best part, and maybe Greg Dulcich, maybe Marvin's too. But to me, I'll do a C plus as well. Really, because Jackson Smith and Jibba can be damn good on the team. So gets Sky Moore. I'm not gonna sleep on Sky Moore either, but that's the best I can do for you right now. All right, Jack had the 4th pick in the first round. I think Quinn Johnston is on a good offense, but for this year, or the value you got him at, when there were better options, like I feel like Isaiah Pacheco would go over him, James Cook would go over him. Jordan Addison is probably one of the better options in my opinion. Zay Flowers could definitely outperform Quinn Johnston easily because they don't have as many targets as Los Angeles does right now. So I feel like you choosing Quinn Johnston over those guys really would hurt your draft ranking. You didn't have a quarterback, so you got Anthony Richardson. I'm not 100% sure that team will be good this year. Indiana's a mess, and they're not going to have Jonathan Taylor on the team unless somehow he decides to say, you know what, fuck it, I'll stay here. But more than likely, he won't. Um, I mean, Indiana's a mess. Denver's a mess. Rashee Rice, I think that's a solid pick. I feel like that's who could be a possible wide receiver 1 or 2 or 3 up there. He's gonna be top 3 receiving mark for Kansas City. But obviously it's not gonna make your grade better. Alec Pierce, like I said, he outperformed Paris Campbell way more. It just depends on Anthony Richardson. Isaiah Likely, I mean, backup tight end. I guess you have Mark Andrews, you gotta have a backup tight end, Tank Dell, who I know you drafted only because he had a good preseason game. Only because of that. I know damn well. Jack, you get a D plus. Just because you didn't. It might bite me in the ass for saying that Quinn Johnson is not going to be as good as Jordan Addison or James Cook or Isaiah Pacheco or Zay Flowers. But if I take the L, I take the L, but I'm giving you a low grade. In fact, I'm giving you a D. Right next. Evan. Evan had the next pick in the draft. He took over for Billy's team last year. And oh man. James Cook, good pick. I thought he would have gone. Actually, it makes sense that he went running back because he has really good wide receivers. I really want to trade for Tyreek Hill or Cooper Kupp. Just know this league's gonna shut me down for me making an offer, a good offer. DJ Chark, I'm not 100% sure I like that pick because right now Carolina doesn't really have a bona fide wide receiver 1. I mean, Terrace Marshall could be one. DJ Chark showed it in Jacksonville. He didn't really do much in Detroit, and then now he's in Carolina. So he's bouncing all over the league because no one likes him that much. I mean, he's not really fantasy liable either. People think he's good. He's on waivers. He has a good game. People pick him up. He has a bad game. Tyler Boyd, he's always those waiver level type players, and then he gets picked up and he has like a decent game, but it's not startable. So I wouldn't say that that's a good grade or a good pick, but I mean, but for you having 4 quarterbacks on one team is absolutely crazy. So this will definitely hurt your grade, especially with it being Geno Smith and Matthew Stafford. I mean, you don't even need those guys. And I know damn well there were some valuable position players. I know that Kyler Murray's out, but I don't think you need. I think you'll be good with Aaron Rodgers until the bye week, and then you can pick up a new one. So I would fix your team right there. But I think a C minus is fair for you. I just don't think. I think the only good pick you had was James Cook. So I had Juan's pick, but I'll go with over Juan's team before I gloat about my team, my draft. So Juan had my pick in the second round, and he got Kadarius Toney, who is probably, I mean, then again, another Kansas City possible wide receiver 1 guy, but he can never stay healthy. He's very good. But then I just keep saying this. He can be fucking healthy. Well, we'll never know until the season starts. But I have no idea who Michael Myers is. Actually, I have no idea. But Las Vegas does not have a bona fide tight end 1. So it makes sense. John Mechie, cancer guy. I mean, he's his first year playing this year. I don't know. I mean, you got him in the 4th round, so it's not gonna matters. I don't know who you got, who your guys are, honestly. Bryce Young, I'm surprised Bryce Young was still on the board that late. That's actually kind of crazy to me. I thought Bryce Young would get picked up like as soon as possible. In fact, I thought Bryce Young would go on John's team. But then of course he got Deshaun Watson. But I mean, John's got all these backup running backs, and he got Deontay Foreman. I mean, come on now. John's grade's not gonna be that good. I don't like your draft that much, so I'm gonna give it a C. It also doesn't help that you drafted first in the second round, but it's okay. All right, my picks. Obviously, I made a lot of deals. So here's what I do I've done this every single draft or these past two drafts. I trade, I trade like constantly. Like I go for picks. Like I guess in this one I drafted late. But I had three first rounders, two third rounders. But y'all see this, right? My first round picks were not that good last year. I mean, Damian Pierce, I guess, was good, but Marquise Brown over Drake London, George Pickens this early, I think is a little bit of a stretch. I could have easily gotten him in round 11. I could have easily gotten him in round 11. I should have gone him because I was on the brink of choosing Damian Pierce, Ramondre Stevenson, and if Marquise Brown stays, I would have gone him here. But I sh I had three first round picks and I could have gone three really good starters in the first round, and I choked. I choked so hard. I should have never ever done that. And Treylon Burks, I literally talked down about him last year, and I drafted this guy, and now he's a good starter. Daryl Henderson. Oh my God, get me out of this already. Last year's draft was terrible. I definitely bounced back this year. From going from not having a first round pick to trading for a first round pick, and then having all my other picks, and then somehow just ending in the third round. I mean, I made some deals and I got the players that can just be league winners or just insane this year in fantasy. And I think that is easily going to carry me. Obviously, my team might not show it, but I mean, I think I did a pretty damn good job for a dynasty level draft, and that's why I would get an A plus. Jordan Addison, I mean, he can be just as good as Justin Jefferson. I mean, he was damn good in college. I mean, he was damn good in college. If y'all don't know that, you should look up his highlights. He's pretty damn good. Dalton Kincaid, I mean, I needed a tight end. He was the only that was the only position I didn't have. And Dalton Kincaid obviously was there for the taking. I knew if I didn't draft him here, he would have had him. And then I knew that Seattle's gonna have a committee at running back, so why not fuck with Jack's team and take the guy? Jarrett McKinnon was a league winner like late last year, so I might as well just I took him. I mean, I don't know. I could have gone Kendrick Miller, honestly, but why not? And then she goes, I'm just a backup tight end just in case Kincaid somehow fails, but more than likely he'll be fine. What the heck is that? Coax? Yeah, that's why I would easily get an A plus because I ended in third round. All right, who's next? Seth. Oh boy. Oh boy. So y'all thought Jack's grade was very low. Just wait to get the Seth's team. I hope y'all watch this. So Seth's team itself is horrible. Why am I being called right now? Give me a second. All right. Back to it. Sorry. Um, so yeah, you thought that Jack's grade was low for Seth's team is gonna be even lower. Um, so Seth came in with two of his starting running backs being free agents. One of them hasn't signed to a team yet. One signed to a team where he'd be a backup running back. He might just be a failure for that team because Zeke is a lost him. But he did keep Zeke. And did John pick up Leonard Fournette? He's dumbass would, honestly. Um, yeah, so he kept Zeke. I don't think Zeke will do anything in New England that much compared to what Damian Harris did in fucking New England as well. I mean, he won't be a reliable running back. He'll be cut. But the fact that Seth did nothing really besides getting Jacoby Myers, the wide receiver 2 for that team. That team's not going to be good at all. Yeah, Las Vegas is another shithole. So it's Denver, Las Vegas, Indianapolis, Houston. I'm trying to think of another. Tampa Bay, honestly. I'd give Tampa Bay another shithole, but I feel like their wide receivers are in better position because they're just better. But Seth's draft as a whole is so bad. He drafted Devin Singletary over Isaiah Pacheco, Zay Flowers, Khalil Herbert. Dalvin Cook would have been a better pick. And Tim drafting him in the first round, I don't know about that, but and Dalvin Cook and the Jets, they have so many running backs. I don't know if that was a good Seth getting him over. I mean, Tank Bigsby would have been a good pick. But Devin Singletary, bro. Samaje Perine, like I thought I thought Seth would draft Michael Thomas. I literally guessed that Seth would draft Michael Thomas. I was wrong. Steven got him instead. I don't know if that was a good pick, but Devin fucking Singletary, man. Then he went back to get Jacoby Myers, which is not a bad pick, I guess, because he's been proved to be good. But that team's a mess. Dalton Schultz, tight end 1. He's always been good, but I mean, nothing can be said with with Marquez Valdez. I mean, once again, like Kansas City is just a shithole for wide receivers right now. That team's good, but the wide receiver core is just a shithole because you have no idea who will be fantasy reliable. You're basically gambling on every single one of those players that you've picked. Elijah Mitchell, backup running back. CMC is a very injury-riddled player. He did not get injured at all last year. He played every single game he played, or there was. Elijah Mitchell got hurt last year, actually. And then there's Hunter Renfrow. Seth's draft is easily an F. My lord, he could have done. He was put in like the best possible situation with his team. He could have easily rebuilt. He could have easily. I mean, Jacob was wanting to trade for Zeke. He could have gone a draft pick out of that. I mean, anyone else was able. I mean, he needed to fix his team. He should have sold AJ Brown. He should still sell AJ Brown. He should still do something with his team because his team is bona fide a last place team. Like it's worse than Jack's team. Like that's how bad his team is, and Jack's team's pretty bad. But Jack's at least in a better position with his young players. But yeah. All right, Dylan, you were up next, and Dylan did the correct decision by drafting Zay Flowers. I thought he would go running back. What does he have? I thought he would go running back just because Javonte is not gonna. I don't think he'll have a good year this year. I think Javonte will be like a mid running back. David Montgomery, obviously splitting time, but I said he might have the Jamal Williams role, and Miles Sanders is the clear RB1 for Carolina. Will that team be good? Zay Flowers, I do think is a good pick. Kendrick Miller is a good pick. Jaden Reed, I think, is a really good pick. I think he's a really good sleeper pick. Michael Wilson, no idea who the fuck that is. Trey McBride could possibly be tight end 1 for that team because Zach Ertz is hurt, but that team's a shithole. That's another one of those teams, shithole teams. Zay Jones, I do feel like one of those wide receivers, Christian Kirk or Calvin Ridley, could get hurt. Zay Jones would step up, and he's been known to step up for he's been known to step up. So there's a possibility that you just sniped a wide receiver two in the last round. Um, Overall, I think this is probably a decent draft that I've seen in a while, and I think a B minus would be fair for you. Um, but I mean, some of your picks were good, some of them are like eh. I think it's mainly those Arizona players, but the first round pick. Thank you for choosing Zay Flowers. I actually was hoping he would fall later on. I feel like if Zay Flowers or fucking Khalil Herbert fell to the second round, I would have gone him instead of Kincaid. But the draft happened like that. I'm okay with it. Okay, next one will be Steven. Since just next. So Steven traded Garrett Wilson, who is easily a top 10 dynasty football player, for Calvin Ridley and Isaiah Pacheco and Daniel Jones. To me, to me, Steven lost that trade. Um, Isaiah Pacheco is a good pick, but you drafting a quarterback in the second round makes no sense to me when you have Trevor Lawrence, who is your clear wide receiver quarterback one. You could have went off with a different role player, but you didn't. So that would hurt your grade. I feel like you trading away Garrett Wilson like that. Mm. But and getting Michael Thomas, man, I don't remember the last time Michael Thomas had a good season. Probably because a fucking, you know, a fucking what's that word? Fucking plague happened, basically. I don't know. Fucking world shutdown virus happened before that, actually. That was probably the last time he was good and played a full season. He hasn't played a full season since 2019. So you drafting him in the first round is going to suck for your team because I don't think he will be healthy this year. Daniel Jones at second round, no. Kel Komet is a good pick. That's their tight end one. Jeff Wilson, and you doubling down on another quarterback. Oh hell no, Steven. Come on, man. Yeah, your draft sucks, but it's better than Jack's. So I will give you a D plus. All right, next. Next pick is it will be John. John, then Ben. I'll go Ben next. Okay. So John, really the only thing he was missing because of him and Jack just piling players together, just going off and off, trading with each other. Um, that is crazy to me. Um, yeah. So he had basically Jack's team, and then he had to draft one of his players back, which was Dalvin Cook. So he got him back. But Dalvin Cook obviously isn't as good a situation as he was last year, so it wasn't that bad. Jonathan Mingo, see, that's another wide receiver target that Carolina can have. Um, you just don't know what will happen in that team. Uh, Davion, Devon, Achone, that's a good pick, mainly because Miami's run game. I feel like Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert are just gonna, they're they're gonna, one of them's not gonna play at all. And a chain or whatever the fuck you say his name will rise to the occasion. Kenneth Gainwell, don't know why you got him. Don't know why you got him. I don't know what's going on over here with your weird white running back picks, which is why that will hurt your grade. That will be a once again, it could be better than Jack's. Like, but I mean, come on, man. I can't possibly say that Kenneth Gainwell. I mean, Spears guy. Who was that one backup? I can't remember that backup guy for Derrick Henry last year, who's no longer on the team anymore. Spears has shown some good running game, but preseason, man, like it doesn't matter. And Deontay Foreman, I would go Khalil Herbert, Roshan Johnson, then Deontay Foreman, mainly because Deontay Foreman hasn't. Did he have a good? I can't remember if he was good, like somewhat last year. I know people. Oh, you cut him. Oh, you cut him anyways. See, I mean, yeah, you picked him up for Leonard Fournette. Well, that he's a part of your draft, and you already dropped him. So I think Jack and John are gonna have the same draft grade. There you go. Ben. So Ben got my pick. Khalil Herbert, Sam Laporta, very good draft pick. Adam Thielen, wow. Carolina does have a lot of targets. Damn. Isaiah Hodgins, another one of those shitholes. Zamir White, Jared Goff, who could potentially be a very good QB. That's a guy you're just going to keep on your team forever. And you're going to shuffle Zamir White, Isaiah Hodgins, possibly Adam Thielen. I mean, he might be in a shithole of a team. So, honestly, this draft ain't that bad. But to me, I think it's a C plus. Actually, no, no, because Khalil Herbert could be damn good this year. So I'm gonna give you a B minus, mainly because Khalil Herbert, Sam Laporta, and Jared Goff, who could produce for you, but he'll be on the bench because you have Pat Mahomes, would be a good pick for you. Look, obviously your team is just really young and it's good. I want some of your players, but I'll stick with my young guys. So, um, so yeah, that's the Dynasty draft right there. It was pretty damn easy. I think I'm gonna make it a different video, so just fucking let me stop this and then I will get to the next league.